The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Leanne McAdoo for InfoWarsLife.com. I'm here with Dr. Edward Group, Master Herbologist and Chief Formulator behind the InfoWars Life products. Dr. Group, what have you been hearing from women who've started taking Super Female Vitality?
You know, we've heard the reviews and feedback from Super Male Vitality, from emails to even excited callers on the radio. Now, the answer for women is here. A new formulation specifically designed for the female body, Super Female Vitality, delivers 10 key herbs that work synergistically to revitalize the unique biology of women.
I'm so glad that you guys made this for women. When he brought me home the bottle of Super Female, I had tons of energy, tons of motivation, a lot of drive. My husband thinks I've been in a better mood. Our relationship, all I can say is it's a lot better now.
I've just started taking Super Female Vitality from InfoWarsLife.com. Supplies are limited, so secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or dial 1-888-253-3139.
Why does the United States spend the largest percentage of GDP in the world on healthcare? Why do we have the highest cancer rates on the planet, the highest rates of diabetes, autism, and every other major disease? It all comes down to one thing. We are what we eat. Our food is devoid of nutrition and processed with poisons and additives. Our water is filled with toxic poisons and big pharma runoff. All of this has been engineered by design. We can turn the tide against the eugenicist by giving ourselves the nutrients our body desperately needs. To learn more, visit InfoWarsHealth.com. The site is literally packed with audio and video featuring top health professionals who don't bow down to big pharma. The fight against the New World Order starts with you, and you can't stand against the machine if you're sick, tired, and obese when you visit InfoWarsHealth.com. Be sure and check out the catalog with nearly 400 life-changing products and get free shipping when you sign up for AutoShip. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
You are a programmable guy that goes and watches Olympus Is Falling and believes all this and really thinks you're a hero. G.I. Joe, great American hero. Yo, Joe. You don't work for Joe. Joe got taken over. The G.I. Joe command base is run by Cobra. Do you understand that? And I use a child analogy to get through to you because that's your main programming template in North America. They're on record with that. That was all Pentagon directed. You understand? You work for Cobra. You dress like Cobra. You have the tactics of Cobra. You are Cobra. Hail Cobra. You want to be little boys? Or do you want to really join the Republic?
They know what's going on at the Bundy Ranch, and they won't even let a police information officer give us any information. That's a bunch of bullshit.
It's all these stupid G.I. Joe movies and stuff where the White House is attacked. The White House is run by Cobra.
When I went through the process of becoming press secretary, one of the first things they told me was, you're not even to acknowledge the drone program. You're not even to discuss that it exists.
It's run by chaos. It's run by Spectre.
Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, Extortion.
They run little kids. They run the snuff films. They run the drugs. They run it all. And because you act like a bunch of naive chumps, this whole thing's going to come down on us.
Very much concerns me, considering that they have all this bulk ammunition that they're shooting targets of children.
Would you like to tell me who it is that is doing this?
It is the Department of Homeland Security, sir.
Oh, thank you for calling.
To every police officer in this country, to every FBI agent, to every Secret Service agent, you work for Spectre. You work for Chaos. You work for Cobra. How do they get power? They stage a terror attack using Spectre, using Cobra.
Go f*** yourself.
Who is Cobra? Arms dealing, drug dealing, money laundering group wearing masks. They wear masks, ladies and gentlemen, because they're the corporate CEOs. And they're manipulating the governments against each other. Cobra runs the Muslims. Cobra runs the CIA. Cobra runs it all. Cobra is real. You can call it whatever you want. Cobra is in control of America. And Cobra says the veterans and the gun owners, they're saying that we're the bad guys.
These people who hold themselves out to be patriots are not. They're nothing more than domestic terrorists.
That's what Cobra would say. That's what Spectre would say. That's what Goldfinger would say, because that's who those people are.
I am Supreme Cobra Commander. You call your petty bureaucrats, officials, and authorities. You will kneel before Cobra or face my wrath.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Cobra Leader.
You pathetic little worm. How dare you call me Mr. Cobra? I am Cobra Leader. Cobra Commander to you, Jones.
All right, who's doing the voice of Cobra Commander? He's really good.
Cobra.
I have friends and people that have actually seen those videos, and they go, there's no way that's really you. And I do Cobra for them, and they just can't believe it. What does that say that I can actually, maybe I'm Cobra? No, I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday edition. We have David Knight about to join us with live video feeds from Copenhagen, Denmark. We've blown Bilderberg 2014 wide open yet again. Now they're like, big deal having Bilderberg covered. Yeah, we kind of run things, global government. I mean, we always admitted that. Move along, nothing to see here. After they tried to move heaven and earth to not have a debate about this. Now, I want to go back to this article and then to David Knight. This is such a big deal by Bill Gertz. It's up on Infowars.com. In fact, I want to post the PDF on Infowars.com under the Bill Gertz article with screenshots. And as I said, post the whole Bill Gertz article from WashingtonTimes.com on Infowars.com. It's that important to mirror this document that they received and have confirmed as the Department of Defense. Number 3025.18. And it's been updated in September of 2012, now released. And here's the article. Inside the Ring, directive outlines Obama's plan to use military against citizens. And they've got Northcom. They're training for it constantly. It's in the training manual separately that we freak out about that they train. That's even in Forbes magazine. It's even in AP. For who? The Tea Party. The military doesn't train for the Russians or the Chinese. They train domestically. When they were building it, they claimed for Al-Qaeda, who the globalists publicly run and protect. And now they're segueing going, you know what? It's actually for gun owners and veterans. Yep. The troubling aspect of the directive, reading from Bill Gertz's article, outlines presidential authority for the use of military arms and forces, including unarmed drones, in operations against domestic unrest. This appears to be the latest step. It doesn't appear, it is. But see, reporters want to be objective. It'd be like if Obama is eating a T-bone steak, is eating a T-bone steak. If the federal government, is picking their nose, they're picking their nose. I mean, when they're doing this, they're doing it. Let's go back to the article. Thank you. This appears to be the latest step in the administration's decision to use force within the United States against its citizens, said a defense official opposed the directive, speaking to Bill Gertz. And it goes in to say that they will use to quell civil disturbances drones, under the emergency authority, military forces, armored vehicles, the full weight and power of the Department of Defense. Folks, this was going on under Clinton and continued under Bush, but was more covert. I mean, I made 3 films when Clinton was in office. Police State 2000, Police State 2, The Takeover, Police State 3, Total Enslavement, once Bush was in. Then I made Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA, in 2009. The Rise of FEMA. And, you know, you go see Godzilla, and FEMA's the savior saving the children. But in the real world, boys and girls, FEMA's taking over all the land of this country and getting ready to force relocate people. And will be over Northcom and the Department of Rural Affairs that is publicly a Pentagon operation. Now, you go look up Obama's executive order. It's to reorganize farming in this country under executive action. And boots on the ground. And is deploying plainclothes military into every small town in America. And, of course, you remember last year they, quote, passed a law saying we can now have the military involved domestically in PSYOPs lying to you. And then the first PSYOP was to have earlier this year the Undersecretary of Defense. He gave a press conference. We wrote an article about it. It was the cover of the magazine. And he came out and said, because of Drudge Report, we can no longer lie. Drudge Report and other new media, we have to start telling the truth. And in the interest of telling the truth, we're now going to come into your towns and cities and work with all new media. And that means pay them money. In some cases, small local blogs will get $200,000 or more to sell out. And you're going to see a lot of that suddenly. People are going to take their 30 pieces of silver, and they're all going to attack you-know-who. The big lesson test is they'll attack InfoWars, they'll attack Roland Daily, they'll attack Drudge. And it's Cass Sunstein cognitive infiltration stuff. And we've already seen it really heat up. And most of them don't even hide the fact they're FBI operatives, informants, and others. There's the headline. Government promises to stop lying because of Drudge Report. Shows the power of real media in breaking through the electronic Berlin Wall. Adnan Salazar. Alex Jones wrote that article. But then we go in later in the article to admit, though, that overall you got like 400-plus PSYOP officers in the room, civilian and military, looking so depressed, shaking their heads, freaking out, crying in the press conference, asking questions. Like the woman goes, I'm tired of lying. No one likes me. And everybody's shaking their head going, honey, you don't get it. We're announcing we're not going to lie because we're getting ready to really lie. The PSYOP's on them. That's why you got to watch the hour-long press conference. People are shaking their heads. They're freaking out, throwing their pencils down. I mean, this is such treason you're seeing. But they're saying we come in peace. Oh, we're going to go out now and not lie anymore. We're just going to operate domestically. Well, the room full of people at the Pentagon knows they've been operating domestically up one side and down the other. I was on 590 FM one morning for like 2 hours as a guest, and as I was walking out, I saw this fellow walk in to promote an anti-gun agenda, and I noticed how he was talking in the coffee room on his cell phone, his bearing, and I looked at him and I said, you're not just with the Bloomberg group. I said, you're an Army officer, aren't you? I could just tell he was a Special Forces guy. But he looked evil, and he goes, Alex Jones. And he just had this arrogant, they feel so good because they're with the system. He just laughed at me in the coffee room. And he goes, yeah, I'm with the military. And I go, you're running a PSYOP. And I guess he didn't think I was recording because I wasn't. He just arrogantly went, yeah, we are. You can't stop us. And shoved past me. I went in the radio room before they went live. And I said, this guy admits he's a PSYOP. And I got to be honest, I was starting to bow up a little bit. I mean, I was really, what he was doing was illegal at that time. I don't care if they pass some law saying it's illegal. It's illegal. But, man, here was U.S. Army engaged in a PSYOP against my guns. I mean, I just, I just really got in my craw. Like, I'm getting angry right now and getting chills just remembering that. Because now they're operating all over the place, and, folks, they're coming after everything. And here's the deal. Most military people are great folks. That's why the military is waking up across the board over 80%. that I talk to are fully awake now because of this attempt to take over. The system doesn't care. They'll take the 10, 15%, 20% that'll go along with it. They're going to promote them. And these people see us as the enemy, and they're coming.